Have you ever wanted to run away from your job? Sail off into the sunset? Explore tropical islands? Follow our journey as we head north, 1,000 nautical miles to the Whitsunday Islands, inside the Great Barrier Reef.
Well, we're here in the Whitsundays after 28 days.
We are two complete novices
Turn, you're not turning.
who put it all on the line
Everything in this place can kill you.
to see if we can live out our dream.
It's a tropical paradise. It's a tropical paradise. Oh, you just bit my finger.
Follow us as we explore a new way of life.
Yay!
As Dan faces his fear
If you don't learn, you're gonna get hurt. And I don't want anything to happen to you.
and I realise I'm in over my head.
You just told me I'm useless to you.
No, you're not useless. You just don't know how to sail.
This 5-month journey will test our resolve
Still not in my blood yet for some reason.
and our relationship.
Damn!
I couldn't see that green ball.
That's what I was asking. Am I going straight into
Yeah,
that hole?
I didn't see
We're
this
making a right
hole.
around these things. We're 3 feet into
Hello?
the mud.
And possibly change our lives forever.
I don't think there's a better place in the world for a barbecue than right here.
Watch as we struggle to cope with our new environment.
Yeah, whoa,
I am a fair weather sailor.
And discover if the fantasy lives up to the reality.
I keep thinking, what if something happens? What if something bad happens and I don't know how to deal with it? Look, those shark waters are off by 50 feet.
And when the time comes, will we have learnt enough to make the treacherous journey home?
I feel like we're coming into New York or something.
You have to dive into it knowing it could all go pear-shaped.
We're getting there, babe.
But you can't just sit at home on the couch and dream.
Nothing fun about today, but that's sailing, I guess.
Some time ago, my wife and I decided we wanted to sail away to paradise. The only problem is neither of us knew how to sail. But I am good at planning adventures.
It's a big long coast, and that's only New South Wales. Then we got Queensland, and then into the Whitsundays, over 1,000 nautical miles. We're gonna be leaving pretty soon, and winter's coming in, as you can see from the rain outside, and we want to get out of here for the winter. This is the exciting part. This might be more exciting than the actual trip because I'm not scared of doing this. I'm kind of a little scared of going on the trip. What's the old saying? Prepare, 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 or something like that? I'm sure there's a saying about being prepared and not dying.
We live in Sydney, Australia, with our dog, Madonna. As I said, I'm not a sailor, but I did grow up on an island, and I've been around boats my whole life. I even lived on my motorboat, Tin Cup Chalice, in California for a few years.
But I have to say, my passion has always been motorcycling.
Yes, I'm a true motorcyclist at heart. I love speeding along a twisty road, the feeling of the wind as the trees whip by. When I met Maxine, I discovered she shared my love of adventure. And soon, she became a motorcyclist as well. Over the years, we've ridden thousands and thousands of miles and had some amazing adventures.
Unlike Dan, I knew nothing about boats. I grew up far from the ocean on a wheat and sheep farm in Western Australia. But I've always had a taste for adventure. And when I finally met Dan, I'd found the adventure man of my dreams. Lately, though, we've had no time for adventures. Like a lot of people, we work too hard and don't have enough fun. We both work in TV, a high-stress business that burns you out.
So why on earth, when we love motorcycling so much, did we decide to go sailing? For one thing, I think we both needed a new challenge. But that wasn't the only reason. We also wanted to see if the fantasy of sailing off into the sunset lived up to the reality.
You know, so many people think this is the lifestyle they want. Well, we've decided it's time to put it to the test.
So, what did we do? I took some sailing lessons. Then we took out a loan against our house and bought a boat. A 2-year-old, 42-foot sailboat. We named her Wildflower. She has a nice little galley.
Galley works great. Refrigerator, stove.
A comfortable salon, a couple bathrooms, a V-berth up front, and a luxurious king-size bed in the stateroom. As rookie sailors, we can't imagine the challenges ahead, but we figure at least we'll be comfortable. 1 year after we first talked about sailing away to paradise, we were actually doing it.
Here we go. Well, we're heading out. Rain stopped. See you later, land.
We're heading for the Spit Bridge. It's been windy and a bit rainy this morning, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. I'm going as far as Pittwater, then I'm bailing out to go back to work.
I'm really bummed because we planned on leaving together, but now I have to stay back at work for another month.
So today, the plan is to drop Maxine off at Pittwater, a half-day sail from Sydney. Then I'll take Wildflower all the way up the east coast of Australia to the Whitsunday Islands. The 72 islands lay between the Queensland coast and the world-famous Great Barrier Reef. They're a mecca for yachties, especially during the winter months from May to September. There's a lot to love: sandy white beaches, secluded bays, and spectacular wildlife. My destination is Able Point Marina at Airlie Beach, and that's where Maxine will be joining me in a month's time. But unfortunately, our lovely little dog Madonna has to stay behind with friends. She's made it perfectly clear she doesn't like sailing. To head north, we first have to get out of Sydney Harbor, and the nerves have already kicked in.
How are you feeling?
Better than I did at 1 o'clock this morning when I was hurling into the toilet.
It's not that I'm not excited. I am. But I'm also nervous. And right now, I think there's more nerves than excitement. But you also have to remember, I've been prepping this boat for 12 months. So I'm also physically and mentally exhausted. And we haven't even left.
Is that it? One more. Oh, that's a bit challenging.
The voyage north will take a month. My friend Brett is coming along for the first few days, while my mate Wayne, a professional skipper, will do the whole trip.
Okay, mooring lines are on the starboard side, cockpit locker.
I'm hoping I'll learn enough from Wayne on the sail up for Maxine and I to safely cruise the islands for 3 months this winter, and then make the perilous 1,000 nautical mile journey back to Sydney before the cyclone season sets in.
We're heading out. Spit Bridge is opening for us. All the planning and prepping is behind me, and now there's nothing but water in front of me. Maybe that's a little scary.
Where are we, Dan?
Going through the Sydney Heads. Engine's finally off. Sails are up.
The sails may be up, but we're going nowhere fast. The forecast was for a southerly, but the winds changed direction.
Fortunately, we need to be going north, and that's where the wind's coming from. So it's going to be a long slog this afternoon into Pittwater.
That's South Head behind you.
The city behind us. Heading away.
I won't see Sydney Harbor again for 5 months, although so far we've done nothing but sail in the wrong direction.
We're really racing south at the moment because we've got such a strong current working, probably doing about 2 knots at least south.
Unfortunately, the weather isn't on our side. It's been blowing from the north, and we're trying to go north. So we've been tacking for hours against a strong current and haven't gotten anywhere.
We're heading back through the heads, so we didn't make it that far on the first day.
That's the way it goes. Sometimes you sail, sometimes you moor. Today we're gonna moor.
So much for not seeing the harbor for 5 months.
That's sailing.
That's one of the things I'm gonna have to get used to on this adventure, is not being able to go where I wanna go when I wanna go. And I think in time, that's really gonna get on my nerves. I can see it already. That's gonna be my nemesis.
Coming up,
We're sailing to Queensland.
we finally head up the coast,
Just rounding Cape Morton.
but things come to a crashing halt.
Being on the hook in somebody's backyard is